Hey guys, it's Graham. Welcome back. This is episode 2 of my 5K to $100,000 challenge through Amazon FBA. In this video, I cover Helium 10 and how we used that software to find successful products to sell on Amazon. Keep in mind, you don't have to follow my filters. If you want to go for a super competitive product with high upside that could potentially make you 10 grand, cool, all the power to you, go for that. If you want to go for products that make $500 profit a month, tailor your filters to go for whatever you're comfortable with. Just keep in mind that if it's your first product, you probably want to go for something on the easier side, low startup costs, less competition, those types of things. So I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys get a lot of value. And if you did, please leave a like. And if you're new here, subscribe just so that you can continue to watch me as I try to turn $5,000 into $100,000. We'll see how long it takes. I'm pretty confident I'll be able to do it at least in a year or two, but hopefully sooner. And so enjoy the video, guys. So today, guys, we're going to be doing product research with Helium 10. As you guys know, product research is the most important point of selling on Amazon. And so a lot of people, when looking for products to sell, they use softwares. And Helium 10 is highly regarded as the best one. Most sellers are using Helium 10. And you can see here, I do have discount codes. So you can choose between these two offers, use that discount code, I get a kickback, and I appreciate it. So let's get right into it. Before we get started, I want to mention a few quick things. Firstly, I think that now is one of the best times to get into Amazon selling. People constantly say that it's too late, it's too late. I don't think it is. I think 2020, 2021, and 2022 are going to be some of the best years to start selling on Amazon because of a lot of the changes that has happened. There's a lot of outdated techniques that no longer work. There's advantages with the reviews. Here's a quick example. This is a product that's been selling for a long time. Since 2016, this blue line shows the rate of reviews that they had. Very steady. And then in about January of 2020, or even July, you can see that the amount of reviews went way up, all the way to here. What happened there? Well, Amazon allowed customers to leave a rating without having to write a review, which is a lot easier. And so a lot of customers have started to do that. So in the past, having 1,000 reviews was a big deal because they were all written reviews, and it was hard to compete with someone that had that many reviews. But now these brands have started to accumulate a lot more reviews, and so that's why I recommend that if you start selling now, you're also going to benefit from that elevated review rate, and so your numbers of reviews are going to climb fast. And so this is a great opportunity for, if you start selling now, you can grow your reviews very quickly. You won't be lagging that far behind more established sellers because, as I said, the rate of reviews is much higher now. So it was a lot harder to acquire reviews in the past. So that's just one of the many reasons that I recommend getting in now. There's also logistical issues where if you can figure out a way to either hire a warehouse or time your inventory better than other sellers, there's a lot more opportunity because so many sellers that are doing a poor job of keeping their stock are losing a bunch of sales to newer sellers just based on being out of stock. So I truly, truly believe that 2021 is going to be the best year since 2016 to start selling on Amazon. Another reason for that is just because the growth of Amazon. You can look up the revenue numbers. They grew substantially through COVID just because a lot of people were forced into starting to shop online. And that has caused, people that would have never been buying online before to start buying online now. And once those people, think of older people are now comfortable buying online, that's just a barrier to entry that has been, knocked down. And because of that, there's going to be elevated traffic buying online probably from now until the end of time. So this is going to act as episode 1 of my $5,000 to $100,000 challenge. I do need to find a product to sell, and so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you some of the presets that I use on Helium 10's black box tool in order to find products. But quickly to remind you guys of the rule, I'm starting with $5,000. The goal is to grow that into $100,000, so $95,000 of profit essentially. But keep in mind that if I have built a business that has generated $100,000 in profit, I will also be able to sell it for a fairly substantial amount. So the calculation is usually 45 times or 40 times your monthly profit. So if you're making 2K a month, you could sell that business for 80 or 90 grand. So just keep that in mind. I am not building off of my existing Amazon brand. I'm starting fresh, just like you would be. And I'm going to hopefully grow the business. I might fail. And if I do, I will post that. I don't think I'm going to because I'm pretty good at this. But, if I do find a failed product, I'm going to try again. But I'm going to post that on YouTube so you guys can see it. So let's get into the product research. So I've preloaded 4 different tabs here to show you different sets of filters you can use to find products. Keep in mind that you can mix and match all of these different metrics. There's no set formula that works better than others. All these filters do is lead you towards the right types of products. So if you want to adjust anything here, go for it. See what type of results it gives you. But I encourage you to be creative, because the more creative you can get, the more little advantages you can find. And so I'm just going to walk you through a few of the examples of types of filters that I would use to find good products. So for all my searches, I always have these categories selected: arts, automotive, baby, beauty, sometimes, not always, these 4, and then those remaining 6. So you can check those out. You can play with it a bit. It's just my recommended list of categories to go for. The other thing that I quite often do is shipping size tier. So I'll either do small standard size, large standard size. Sometimes I'll look in the small oversized category, but I don't like to go for too much bigger than that. You can if you want to. It means your fees are going to be higher. It obviously means that you're also going to be selling the product for a higher price. But those are just the presets that I always use. The rest of this stuff is pretty arbitrary. So this is just an example of one that I might use. You can see here, black box is the tool. We're in the products category. This would be a search for a low price but high ROI product. So even though it's only $6 to $12, you'd be looking to hopefully get in the small standard size tier, which is $250 or $263 in fees per sale. I can also link the product size tiers and their associated fees in the description. So check the description. I'm going to have a bunch of helpful links for you guys there. But yeah, if you're in that small standard size, which is a very thin box, your fees are very low. So even at $10 $10 price, you can have a small standard size with $250 in fees, maybe $1 in product cost. You're still going to be profiting $5 or so after everything's said and done. So there's a lot of opportunity there. A lot of people say don't sell in this price range, but you can find a great ROI product. I sell products that are around the $10 mark that I source for less than $1. My ROI is like 400-500%. And if you're starting out, especially like I will be with $5,000 in this series, the number one thing I would suggest is look for products with a high ROI, because if you're investing $1, you're making back $4, you're doing well. However, if you're investing $5 per product and you're only making back $2 of profit per sale, it's going to take you a lot longer to really turn that cash. So you can go with whatever you're comfortable with, but I definitely recommend over 100% ROI. And in this cheap price range, like I'm showing this example of, I would shoot for 300 at least, because it's possible. There's a lot of opportunities in this price range with high ROIs, cheap products, low size tiers. There's a lot of opportunity, and a lot of other gurus would not suggest this. So another thing that you're looking at is just the review count. I put less than 400. You can make it 100. You can make it 1,000, whatever you're comfortable with. No sense in setting a minimum review count. This is another thing I like to play with, is sales year over year. So this just ensures that I'm finding products that have grown over last year, just to make sure that we're finding products that have an upward trajectory. Monthly sales, for example, 200. If it's a $4 profit product, you're selling at least 200. You're making 800 a month at least. Obviously, I'm going to be shooting for higher than that, but just another thing you can play with. Weight, definitely if you're looking for low priced products, you're definitely going to want a low weight product. It's just going to keep your fees down, going to make you more money. Here's something else you can play with. Number of images. Most good sellers will have 6 or 7 images. So if you're competing with people that have 4 or less images, they probably didn't do a very good job on their listing. And so if they can still generate more than 200 sales and they have low reviews in this price point, but they only have 4 images, it's a pretty good indication that it's not that competitive of a category, just because they're selling with a suboptimal listing. So you can go in there with a more optimized listing, hopefully steal some sales. Basically, when doing product research, the number one thing you're looking for is high ROI and a good ratio of sales to reviews. So you don't want to compete with products that sell a lot but have 10,000 reviews, because the ratio is not good enough. You want products that have low reviews, because that means that they're reasonably new products and they're still selling well. So that means you could do something similar. You could launch a better product and hopefully steal a piece of those sales. Just quickly here's another type of filter I sometimes use when looking for products. Size tier, I also included small oversize. Price between $15 and $40 in Amazon.com, by the way. I never mentioned that earlier. Here, I just threw the review count to maximum 200, minimum monthly sales of 300, 6 reviews. I don't even think I needed to touch that, but I did. I bumped the weight up a bit, and once again, I kept that growth metric, but you don't have to if you don't want to. I've also excluded these words here just because so much of the COVID-related products are popping up, so I'm just trying to make less of them show up. And so another example of stuff you can be looking for, higher priced products. Obviously, these are probably going to be more expensive to get into, so you might be paying $5, $10, $20 a unit if you're selling more expensive products, which might not be possible for my $5K to $100,000 challenge. I am currently looking for a product still, so I'm still looking in all these different categories. I don't know if I'll be priced out of this price range. Hopefully not, but we'll see, just based on minimum order quantities and whatnot. But here's another subset of products and filters that I'd be looking at. Now here I just want to quickly mention this because this is another way to find good products, is using the keywords tab in Blackbox. So rather than looking at individual products, you're looking at keywords that have this certain criteria. So for an example, you want at least 500 to 3,000 search volume, not higher than that because then it's probably too competitive. But this is shooting for a niche that isn't too competitive, but there's still the opportunity to get a lot of sales. So that's just what we're looking at here. You can go whatever price you want. Helium 10 actually only shows a maximum of 200 results per search. So if you're looking in between $15 and $40, you might want to inch this from 15 to 16, and then 16 to 17, 17 to 18, just so you get to see more products. Once again, these are all just arbitrary. You could be creative with these. You can, say you want to look for super lightweight products, do that. If you want to look for listings that are making good sales but only have 2 or less images, cool. That means you can go in there and put 7 images and beat them on your listing page. You can also come in here and look for new products. So these are products that fit this parameters but have been created within the last 12 months. So there's so many different ways you can go about it. Just be creative. And you really have to spend some time and understand what each of these filters means, and not only what it means, but what that can result in. So some people wouldn't expect, but you could look at best sales period. Maybe you want a summary item. Maybe you want a Halloween item. You can set those filters. Like I was talking about in the last one, images. That can be a great indication of a poor quality competitors that are still selling well. And if they're selling well, then it means they have a crappy listing and they're selling well. So there's opportunity there. Just beat them, have a better product, have a better listing. Play with the weights, play with whatever, variations. Maybe some sellers don't include all the recommended variations. Maybe you want to look for crappy rated products. maybe maximum of 4 stars or 3.5 stars. Then you can go look at all those products, see the ones that are selling well but have bad reviews. Okay, why are they having bad reviews? Then you can look at those reviews. Maybe you can improve the product based on the negative feedback that your competitors have got. So there's so many different ways you can go. Just keep narrowing down those filters smaller and smaller until you find something that you really like. So just so you guys actually have some evidence and an example of what I'm talking about, I went back to this filter, all the categories: low price, reasonably low reviews, lightweight, and crappy listings, because they only have 4 images. And then obviously just these 2 size tiers. So here's an example of a product that kind of catches my eye. It has year-over-year growth. It is 9 by 12. You can see the package dimensions are 12 inches by 10 inches by 1.25. So this is actually a product that I like. What do I see when I look at this product? I see those product dimensions. And like I said, I'm going to list below the product size tiers. But a smart seller here would know that if you can get that third dimension less than 0.75 inches, they would actually fit into a smaller size tier. So I think their fees would go from like $360-ish down to $250 or $263. So you're saving $1 in fees if you could optimize this package dimension. Maybe you'd have to do, instead of 50 sheets, you'd need 40 or something like that. But that's an example of a way that you could get a competitive advantage on this guy. I don't really know much about the product, but he's selling it for $10.40. He's making pretty good sales, $427 a month. That's great. His reviews are decent. I mean, he's obviously has a good product, but I like this. I wouldn't necessarily say this is the one to go into, but you'd obviously want to then go over to Amazon itself, search paper palette or gray paper palette, check out what the competition looks like. Now, this isn't the best product, but it is a decent idea. Because it's so small, I'm sure it's cost pennies to order from China. It's very lightweight. They're in the smallest size tier. They're only $8, but they're selling $250. Let's check out this listing just so I can give you guys an example. We go over to the Helium 10 extension here, profitability calculator. It gives us these dimensions, price of $7.99. I bet you this only costs 50 cents to make. And there you go. ROI, 740%. Margin, 47%. That's a great margin. Anything over 25 is usually a good margin. So shipping is cheap. The referral fee, depending on the category, it's usually 15. But so I'm not saying for sure this is a good market to go into, but then you could go ahead and go, okay, golf ball marker, poker chip would probably be a decent keyword for this. Search that. Okay, you got a little bit of competition. Obviously, you can't use trademark stuff. And while we're on it, you got to make sure that you don't choose a product that's patented. You don't want to choose one in a gated category. There's certain gated categories like beauty that you have to apply for before you can start selling in. I'm not an expert on that, but just look into it. You go here to the X-ray, check out, okay, search volume's low for that exact search, but I don't think that that's very popular. What I'm seeing here, probably too little of sales, but it's not bad. These aren't always accurate, especially at these low levels. They're usually fairly accurate, so I mean, I probably would say no to this product. If these guys were more all in the 200 to 100 sales range, I might look into it, but yeah, I'd say it's a no for that product. Oh my god, here's a good example of a great opportunity. Look at that weight. That's so cheap to ship. Look how small that package is. They have their product dimensions. Here, like, they're large standard size. They're missing out on $1. They're paying an extra $1 per sale in fees because this dimension is not under 0.75. Like, that is so easy to correct. And look, they're selling for $11.95, 250 sales a month, low reviews. They're making $3K in revenue. This is the type of product I like. I'm not saying it's good, but you'd want to go in there and search net replacement for mini basketball hoop. Obviously, you have to do a lot of product research, but you can already see this guy's selling 260 a month and he has an inefficient listing. Like, that's a crappy image. Let's check that out. He's got 2 photos, that and that, and he's selling 260 a month. Like, this is what I'm talking about. There's so many opportunities on Amazon still. People won't work with all basketball game setups. Okay, like, look into this. See why people are reviewing it poorly. But he's in the wrong size tier, first of all. He has 2 crappy images. He's got 3 crappy bullet points. There you go. Beat him. It's not hard to beat that guy. I'm sure you can source that for 20 cents from China. And he's selling it for $12. Easy. Easy win. Beat this guy. Like, that's actually such a good product. But I've given it away now on my YouTube channel, so one of you guys might copy it. So I'm not going to go into it, but probably not. But there you go. Like, that's a good product. I'm not saying it's the best. You're not going to make 10 grand a month off it, but this guy's probably making good margins, probably $1,000 or $1,500 profit per month. And maybe it's, you have to look into it. Maybe it only sells well in the summer. I don't know, but it's so easy to find these good products. And so I'll leave it at that. I hope you guys get a good understanding. I'm going to keep doing my product research. Hopefully I actually can find a really good product. Unfortunately, I won't show you the product because I know other YouTubers have had their products copied before. So I'll show you all the numbers, I'll show you all the thought process behind it, but I won't be able to give out those details, I don't think. Maybe in the future once I'm at the top of the market and I have so many reviews that no one could copy me and catch me anyways. But that's just an example. You know, there's good products. I looked for that for 3 minutes and I found it. So I think that's a good place to end the video. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. If I did, leave a comment. I'll try to clarify any thoughts you might have or any strategies. If you want to ask anything, this is what I specialize in. This is why I've built, you know, such a profitable business, is because my product research is the best around. Like, I would say that's my strongest suit. Top 5% of sellers for sure. Other guys are better at other things, more complex strategies, but half of selling on Amazon is literally what we just did now. Finding good opportunities, executing, being better than the competition. That's all it comes down to. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have any questions, leave them below. Subscribe if you're new here. Like the video for the algorithm and all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good day.